Guardians of the Galaxy.
To the Walking Dead panel, ComicCon 2014, Hall H. Sadly not uncommon for me. I wish it were. That could mean anything. All right, I can't. I'll hold it. Welcome to The Walking Dead Season 5 panel. You guys have waited in line a long time. We understand that. We have a lot of fun things to show you. The panel's going to mix up a bunch. We have a bunch of video. I went to the set a couple, maybe like 4 weeks ago, and everyone unilaterally has said the same thing. Because, last season started off kind of calm. Everyone was farming. And this season, apparently, super intense from the get-go. This season is apparently going to be brutal, intense. We're going to talk about it. This is the most ambitious season they've ever done on Walking Dead. Season 5 premieres Sunday, October 12th at 9 p.m. Tonally, Talking Dead's going to stay exactly the same. That's not going to change. We're in a fake living room, and we're talking about... Thank you. There's not going to be more explosions on Talking Dead, sir. There's not even one explosion. I would like to start out, we're going to bring the producers out, we're going to talk to them for a few minutes, we're going to show some stuff, and then we're going to bring the cast out after that. So please help me welcome to the stage, showrunner and executive producer, Scott M. Gimple! Also, executive producer and writer, Robert Kirkman! Executive producer, Gail Ann Hurd! Executive producer, David Alpert! Executive producer, special effects makeup supervisor, director, Greg Nicotero! Welcome, good to see you guys. Scott, let's start, because we have a lot of stuff to get through. Let's start with the obvious. As far as we know, everyone was in a train car last time we saw.
Yes.
I don't know why the termites thought it was a good idea to put all of them in the same train car, but they did.
You'll see.
And so what is happening at this point? Do they ever make it out of the train car?
Well, here's the thing. Do they ever make it out of the train car? You know what, I'm not going to answer that. We have a video. This is a little weird. We're going to show a little bit of episode, this is crazy, 515.
Oh, so way in the 50s.
Yes, just a little clip. It's not going to ruin anything, but it will help answer, are they ever going to get out of the train car?
Well, this is a great exclusive from Hall H. I can't even believe we're getting to be a part of this. Yeah, I guess roll the thing.
Oh boy.
The show never leaves the train car and just turns into a weird sitcom.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's sort of like Cheers, but at Terminus, with dashes of Apocalypse Now that you saw at the end.
But honestly, like I talked a little bit when I came out about how you guys have been saying like the season starts off the most intense the show has ever started off before. So can you talk a little bit about the themes going into season 5 and just set it up a little bit for people?
Well, when they lost the prison, these are spoilers, so if you haven't seen the show, I don't know why you're here. But once they lost the prison, once they lost Herschel, all bets were off. And I think they did find out that you can't come back from the things that you've done. You have to live with them. But also those things that you've done make you incredibly formidable. So now that you are, everybody who's alive is, in one way or another, has done unbelievably unspeakable things. Who do they become? Who are they going to be? This season is going to define these characters.
Yeah, and is there anything you can tell us about the termites other than that they're a well-organized colony of hipsters?
We're going to see the Urban Outfitters.
On the
train car. I'll say this: we're going to see the story of Terminus.
Okay.
So we're going to see how it happened.
All right. Well, sort of jumping over to that, can we sort of talk a little bit with Kirkman about how close...
No.
Okay. Let's go to you. The show's always had a nice kind of interweaving with the comics, and like some things transmute to other characters from the comics, and there are touch points along the way. And I've always really admired the fact that you get two totally different experiences from the comic and television show. But moving forward, how closely is the show gonna follow back in line with the comics, or what's your plan?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Terminus certainly seems like a pretty major departure, but I can say that, very quickly, early on in the season, we're going to start getting back on track of, dealing with some more comic book events. And, while this will be a season, same as the other seasons, where, there are things that we use and things that we don't use and things that we adapt directly and things that we change a lot, I think, this is probably a season that's going to, be pretty close to the comics. I think at the end of the day, there's a lot of comic stuff that we're going to be bringing in. So there's a lot of things that you guys who've been reading the comics are really excited about seeing that I think we're going to get to this season. So there's going to be some cool stuff ahead.
And so where are since everyone's in the train car as far as we know,
and always in the train car, so it's all going to be changed so that it takes place in the train car.
One whole season in the train car.
Shot live.
Do it. Stream it. 24 hours. What happens, where's everyone's head at, do you think, once they get into the train car? And, Rick seems to be, after he bit that guy's throat out, spoiler, Rick seems to be, not just old Rick, but, Mega Kung Fu Grip Rick. So
look, Mega Kung Fu Grip Rick is the Rick that we've had in the comics for a while, and it's just taken this long for us to get to him in the show. But the thing to notice, the thing to recognize is that all of the characters have been through this incredible trial leading up to that train car. So it's not just Rick that is uniquely prepared to deal with the threat of Terminus. It's all of them. They're all very capable, and they're all very ready to do what they have to do to survive. So this is a very dangerous, very different group of people that we're experiencing.
Yeah. And as far as one moment from the comic book that we didn't do on the show, in the comic book, well, actually I'm not going to say it here because there's children, but he says they're effing with the wrong people. Actually, it doesn't say they're effing. What do they say, Robert?
I'm not going to say the F word here.
Okay, good. On the Blu-ray, it will be like the comic.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Some
You
more
get your
swears.
F word!
Yes, I know there's some outcry.
I would pay more money for an F word.
There you are.
So that sounded weird. But I did mean it that way. Gail, I want to talk a little about the locations because I came and visited you guys when you were shooting in one of the locations, but I did my best to shield myself from everything because I don't want to get anything spoiled because I get just as mad as anyone else about spoilers. But what can you tell us about the different locations, where you guys are, and what the production's been like this season?
Sure. Well, first of all, the cast and crew are very grateful because, like the train car, we have a few other locations that we call the tick, chigger, and mosquito-free zones. You might call them suburbia and urban settings, but that's not what we call them.
Right.
And, some might possibly, maybe be inspired by the comic book. So those of you who haven't read the comic book yet, now's a good time to start.
Oh, please do. Thank you, Gail. That was awesome.
Where can I get them, Robert?
You can get them everywhere, but your local comic shop is the best place.
I remember when I first started doing Talking Dead, and I was really nervous that I didn't know if you liked what I was doing. I go, am I doing a good job? And you go, I don't care what you're doing. You mentioned the comic book. That's good for me.
Don't reveal to people how cutthroat I am behind the scenes.
I'm sorry. No, I meant you said it was.
Or I will fire you.
Damn it. You can too.
But this season, we have some pretty spectacular scopes, some of which you'll be able to see in the promo piece. If you guys really, really want it down the line, maybe we'll show you. And you'll see us take some pretty big leaps with the characters and with the set pieces.
Good.
Bigger than ever.
So speaking of characters, David Alpert, can you talk a little bit about new characters or people that we'll see this season?
We have a long-standing objective on the show to hire pretty much everyone who's ever been affiliated with The Wire. So to that end, Chad Coleman, Lawrence Gilliard, Steve Mann. We have a number of alums on the show, and so to that end, Seth Gilliam will be joining us as Father Gabriel Stokes. He played Detective Carver on The Wire, so I'm excited to have him on the show.
Excellent. And for Mr. Nicotero, I feel like every year that we're in here, and I always go, okay, each year you kind of try to break as much ground as possible with the special effects and close-up shots of gore. How do you up that after going into a fifth season? Like what did you do to prepare and present new types of?
Well,
this season there's a lot of really interesting walker set pieces. You know, when we did the premiere last year, we had the walkers falling through the ceiling in the big spot, and we thought, how great would it be to put these great hunters, survivors, into a situation that they can't be prepared for. So this season, there's, you know, we're up to like episode 7 filming right now. So we have several cool set pieces, and one of them, I brought a couple pictures because there's a few things that there's one that you'll see in the promo in a minute where they come across a room that's flooded, and the walker on the right is sort of been in this basement for ages, so all the skin is kind of sloughing off. Something really, you know, just taking the walker look that we have and sort of putting it into different scenarios. And the makeup on the left is, again, going with the idea that some of the teeth are rotting out and the nose is gone. You know, so we're really constantly trying to refine the look of the walker. So there's 2 different looks there, and you can imagine that the waterlogged walker, like if you punch them in the jaw, like that would just explode with brown water and nasty crack.
Does that happen?
It's, I don't know. It very well could.
How would you describe season 5 as compared to, you know, 1, 2, 3, and 4? Like, how do you think visually? Like, what do you think of when you think of the show at this point?
Well, you know, what's interesting is because we left off in such a great cliffhanger. Like we were saying, that's one of the first times we really left off in that kind of situation. But visually, you know, it takes us to different places. You know, we will probably revisit a few places that you may recognize that you'll see in the promo. But then there's new worlds that are being introduced as well, and that was really important to us. Even putting the promo together is to show that the Walking Dead world continues to expand, and our characters continue to expand with it. So there's a lot of really cool landscape that we're going to explore.
Well, I think that's an interesting point right now, because I think there's one more video because we still have a lot of panel to get through. I think there's one more video that, Gail, would you please introduce what people are about to see?
Well, you know, you guys all come here to get something special, right? And we live to give it to you, because we're only here because of the love from our fans in the US and our international fans. We don't necessarily get the awards love, so that makes us even more deeply appreciative of what you guys want. So please let me hear from you how much you'd like to see the first sneak peek in the world of season 5.
That is way better than a stupid award. That is way better than a stupid award. So we have
that on the back of my toilet. But it's nice.
Okay, good. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to direct your attention to the screen as we show you a sneak peek at season 5 of The Walking Dead.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, no recruiting of any kind at this time.